Students, today we are going to do chapter number 1 of NCERT Geography. The name of the chapter is The Earth in Our Solar System. So, the word solar, this word has been derived from SOL, which is from the Roman language, and in Roman, sol means the sun god. So the word solar is not new to you. You have heard about solar cooker, solar calculator, solar energy. Now anything that is related with solar is related to your sun. Now you must be hearing and seeing solar panels also these days. So in the present chapter, when we are talking about solar system, we are actually talking about sun system. And here we will talk about our solar system, various components of solar system and Earth in particular. Now when we talk about solar system, we are actually talking about the sun, which is in the center, all the planets that revolve around it, and the objects around them, and this all collection of different celestial bodies is called solar system. Now when we are talking about solar system, we are talking about our sun system, where sun is in the center. Now our sun is the self-luminous body, that means it has its own light. Planets do not have their own light, and rest of the planets, they reflect the light that they get from the sun. Now the objects which exist in the night sky, they all are called celestial objects. That means celestial object consists of sun, moon, and all the objects in the night sky. Now there are many celestial objects which emit their light, and there are celestial objects which do not emit their light. Now the example would be which emit the light. Celestial objects which emit light would be your sun. We just discussed it has its own light, it is self-luminous, and which do not emit their own light, the example would be planets. Now satellites like moon, planets like earth, asteroids, we have meteorites, they all are collectively called celestial objects. And in this chapter, as I told you, we are going to talk about these various celestial objects. Now coming to constellation, we have done in earlier classes also. Constellation, I am sure this is not a new word to you. It's a group of stars. Okay, and it's a constellation, to put into simple words, it's a group of stars which forms a shape or a pattern. Now I'll read out from the slide only. The group of stars which appears to form some recognizable shape or pattern is known as constellation. Now if you recall your previous classes, all the constellation, either they resemble some animal, some human being, or some picture. Okay. Now some of the important constellation which we can see during the night sky are Ursa Major, Orion, Leo Major, and Cassiopeia. Now if you go to mountains and if you happen to see the clear sky, okay, now this year we cannot go anywhere. It will be like, a preventive measure not to go anywhere. Okay, so but if you have gone earlier, if you will go in the future in mountains areas, if you see the night sky, generally we can see the clear view of these constellations over there. Okay, now the constellation means it's a group of stars which resembles some either a human or an animal. Now why are we talking about constellation? Because we are going to find how in earlier times. Now just coming to this slide only first. Now Ursa Major constellation, it has 7 bright stars, and they are arranged in a pattern which resembles Big Bear. Okay, and you can see this Ursa Major it's more visible during your summer season. Now why are we talking about stars? Now in your older times, now we are living in in an age where we have a lot of technological advancement, reaching out to anybody, going to anyone. It could be anywhere on the earth is not difficult. But imagine a time when we did not have this technological advancement, how people used to find location of different places. Now there is a star called pole star in the night sky, because of which people used to locate directions. Now this slide talks about your North Star. Okay, now pole star always points towards your north direction. So it is called North Star. And there's one more name given to it. It's called Polaris. Now either we are talking about pole star or North Star or Polaris, we talk about the same thing. Okay, don't get confused with different names. Now, why this pole star is important? First, I told you because it always points towards north. Now, once we know the north direction, the opposite direction to the north would be south. And if we stand facing the north direction, towards our right would be your east and to the left would be your west. Now, the moment we know our north direction, we can calculate the other three, and then it would be very easier to calculate location and the direction of any place wherever we want to go. So in earlier times, using north star direction, using pole star direction, people used to find places. Now we know the motions of the earth. We know the rotation also, we know the revolution also. So just to remind you again, though we have just done it in class 5, rotation means the movement of earth on its axis, which causes day and night, and revolution means the movement of earth around the sun is called revolution, and it causes your the seasons. Okay, now because the earth is moving, still I will attach a video and you must see this. You will see even if the earth is moving, the position of North Star does not change, it remains the same. Okay, that is why people in the past, in ancient time, they used to use this to determine directions during night times. Okay, very interesting to know. Now I'll read out the slide. The North Star located in the north direction is called pole star. It always remains fixed in the same direction in the sky. We can locate position of pole star with the help of Saptarishi. Now planets. The word is not new to you. Planets we all know. We all love our planet which we live in. Now the word planet, again, like I told you, the SOL, soul, is derived from Roman, and the word planet comes from Greek. Okay, and in Greek the word it means wandering. It's a wandering star. So that means planet word comes from Greek, which means wandering star. Now planets are heavenly bodies which revolve around the sun in elliptical orbits. Now their path of around the sun in which they are moving is not circular. Okay, it is elliptical. Now earlier it was considered that there are 9 planets, but now we all know there are 8 planets, and Pluto is no longer a planet in our solar system. It has been, now we call Pluto as a dwarf planet. Okay, it is no longer in our planets list in our solar system. Okay, now the 8 planets that we have, they fall into 2 groups, 2 categories. Now they are inner planets and outer planets. Now inner planets are your Mercury, Venus, Mars and Earth. Okay, now they are also called terrestrial planets. That means they are small and rocky. Okay, and your outer planets which are your Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, they are called outer planets. Now why they are called outer planets? Now coming back again, your inner planets are your terrestrial planets which are up to the Mars. Now after your Mars, your Jupiter and Saturn, they are called gas planets also, and they all are giant planets. Your Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, they all are your giant planets. Jupiter and Saturn, they are gas planets, and Uranus and Neptune, they are called ice planets. Okay. Now after your Neptune, we have Kuiper belt. I'll just tell you in the next slide about it. Now, between your inner and outer planets, like your inner planets are ending at your Mars. Now, between your Mars and Jupiter, there is a belt of asteroids. Okay, so there is a belt which is made up of your rock and metal heavenly bodies again. So these are called asteroids. They keep moving around the sun. Okay, so now if we ask you, name the belt which moves around in between Mars and Jupiter and around the sun, so the answer would be asteroid. There's a complete belt. If you see, locate Mars and Jupiter in the picture, and there are asteroids written there. It's the complete asteroid belt. Okay. Now we have just learned about asteroids. Now meteoroids are the celestial bodies which range in size. Like their size would be as tiny as a sand grain to very big boulders. Okay, and meteorites are very small than asteroids. Now meteorites, we have if you know, when they enter the Earth atmosphere, because of the friction they release light, they burn up. Okay, and if they burn up completely, then they are called meteors, and if they do not burn completely and fall directly on the Earth, they are called meteorites, right? Now we are going to talk about our planets. Now Mercury is our innermost planet. You know, it's the first planet in our solar system and it is very closest to the Earth. Now there's a huge variation in the temperature at Mercury. See, it is 400 degree Celsius during your daytime, and at night the temperature drops down to 180 degrees Celsius. And coming to the Venus, it is called whale planet. Why we call it whale planet? Because it is covered with thick clouds. Okay, and it is the Earth twin, and we also call it sister or the twin planet because its size and mass is similar to our own planet. Okay, so it is also called the twin planet of Earth. Twin means, you know, na, twin means twin brothers, twin sisters who are born together, who resemble each other. So similarly, Venus is twin to Earth because its size of Venus and Earth are same. So we call it as the twin planet. Now, which is the twin planet of Earth? Venus. Okay. Now, coming to our own planet, the blue planet, which is Earth. You know, it takes 365 days to complete one revolution around the sun. It moves, the rotation of the Earth on its axis causes day and night. That takes 1 day, which is equivalent to 24 hours. Now it revolves around the sun, and again the revolution which causes seasons. Okay, the moon is the only natural satellite, okay, of our Earth, but we have very many satellites which our scientists have sent to the space. We are going to talk about that also. Now, due to gravity, the layer of gases remain attached to it, which is also called atmosphere, and it prevents too much of heat or UV rays from the sun to reach our Earth. Now coming to Mars, Mars is called red planet, and gravity on Mars is half of the Earth. Okay, Mars has the largest dust storm in the solar system, and it consists of 95% carbon dioxide, 3% nitrogen, and 1.6% of argon. Okay, and it contains some oxygen and water. If you have seen, if you are regular to the news clippings, you must have seen scientists finding sources of water on Mars, and I would appreciate if you find some facts related to what our scientists have found on Mars. Now, with Mars, we complete our inner belt of the planet. Now, in between your Mars and Jupiter, I just told you which belt we have. In between these two, look at the screen and see Mars and Jupiter, we have the asteroid belt. Okay. Now, coming to our outer planet, which is a gas planet. Now, there are two gas planets, Jupiter plus the next one, Saturn. Okay. Now, coming to Jupiter, it is the biggest planet. Okay, it completes one rotation in 10 hours, and it has the moon also which is the solar system. Now the Saturn is our sixth planet from the sun and second largest in the solar system. The first largest is, I just told you, is Jupiter. Okay, and it is named after Roman god Saturn. Saturn is classified as gas giant planet. Now, unlike the other planets of our solar system, Uranus is tilted so far that it essentially orbits the sun on its side. So we name Uranus as the planets on its side. Now, it has at least 10 thin uniform black rings which are made up of dust. It has 27 known satellites. You know the satellite, the natural satellite of Earth? I know it's moon and you all know this. It's very cold planet. And why is it very cold planet? Because it is very away from the sun. Now, if you see, you all do camping in the winter season. Now, when we are doing campfire, you must have seen people sitting on roads. They light a fire to keep themselves warm. Now, why they sit next to the fire? So that their body gets that heat from the fire. Now, if you are standing away from fire, you will not get that heat. So the planets which are closer to the sun, they are hot, and those who are away, they are cold. Simple. Okay. Now coming to Neptune, it's like the last giant. The last giant means it's the last planet in our solar system, and again it's named after Roman god of sea. It's a windy planet and it is most distant gas planet. Okay. Now I'll revise again. The first four planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars, they are called terrestrial planets. They are inner planets. Between your Mars and Jupiter, we have asteroid belt. Your Jupiter and Saturn are your gas planets. Your Uranus and Neptune are your ice planets. I think it's quite clear to you. And children, you can keep your doubts. We can have one session where I will clarify your doubts also. And please learn these facts about. Now this is your moon. We know this is the natural satellite for our planet. Now we have seen this many times in the sky. So it appears to us to be very large comparing sun. But why it looks bigger to us? Because it is very close to us when we compare it from the sun. Now when we say the diameter of moon is 1/4 of the earth, and coming to the gravity, it is 1/6 of the earth. Now if a person is weighing 36 kg on earth, the same person would weigh 6 kg on the moon, because the gravity reduces to 1/6 on the moon comparing to the earth. Now the moon has no atmosphere. On a given day, there is a huge difference between day and night temperature on the moon. If it is in the daytime, it is 127 degrees Celsius, then it goes down to minus 173 degree in the night. This is such a huge difference that it has. Now, there's one interesting thing about our natural satellite, which is that we see only one side of the moon always. We don't see the other side of the moon, and the reason to this is because the moon moves around the earth in about 27 days, and it takes the same time to complete one spin. That means that the moon rotates around the earth at exactly the same speed as it rotates around its own axis. So its rotation period and revolution period is same. So we get to see constantly same side of the moon always. Now the satellites. I just told you about satellites. Now as planets move around the sun, the celestial bodies which move around the planets are called satellites. So satellites are of two types. They are natural satellites, like for Earth it is moon, and they are man-made satellites which we have sent, which scientists have made, and we have sent them in space, and these satellites are very useful for us. Now this satellite communication, communication that we are having currently right now is all because of the satellites only. Okay. Now again, so I just told you the satellites which keep moving around the planet, they are called satellites. Okay. Now what are the uses of man-made satellites? They are sending signals. Now the fact that we can talk on mobile phones, that we are connected through internet. These things are all possible because of our man-made satellites. Okay. Now there are two important things to know. One is full moon night and the other is new moon night. Now full moon night means when we see the complete moon, and new moon night is when we don't see the moon at all. And there are different phases of the moon which we do later in the chapter, and generally by class 6 we covered the phases of the moon. So many of you must be knowing about it. Now this is the full moon night in the picture where we see the complete round moon. Okay. Now the gravitational pull of moon and earth, that causes tides. That is also you must be knowing. So that brings to the end of this chapter. Please go through, and I hope you have enjoyed going through this. Thank you.